Well, ever since I hurt my back, my life has been hell. People have treated me like shit, like I'm a bad person because I'm injured. When they needed my help, they got it. We all need help, right? The difference is they got the help that they asked for. I didn't. I got the help they assumed I needed after we agreed that they would help me in the way that I asked for. I'm dealing with a lot of selfish people who like to call me selfish. I hear a lot of different pieces of advice that are completely contradictory. And either I do what you want because of the pretty meme that you believe in, or I'm a bad person and you're going to punish me. Like, there's the whole you just got to love yourself. It's just stupid. I do love myself. I'm a wonderful fucking person. I shouldn't have to be a fucking asshole to get the abuse to stop. I shouldn't have to scream at the top of my lungs to get attention to get this shit to stop. I don't want attention for fucking attention's sake. I want to be treated like a human being. God damn it. Now, my major issue, I didn't get to defend myself to the media. I didn't get to defend myself to the Bollingers or to the courts or to the police. I wasn't allowed. Now I got to deal with a whole bunch of alcoholics who offered to help. Of course, they're alcoholics. They don't listen. With Rayanna, I mean, fuck, that is such a shitty situation. And I've been listening to her tell me about how fucked up her situation is for well over a week. When I was there in Cheyenne several months ago before I went to Washington State, it was the same thing. I'm doctor therapist, apparently. Then I got people like Peaches, and her help is to tell me to go somewhere where it's not going to do me any good. Sending me to Florida to live with a dude named Peace. That's not his real name. His real last name is Combs, actually. But here's the thing, he can barely support himself. I can't support myself unless I get an honest day in court so I can get my disability back. So I can at least take care of myself instead of having to depend on alcoholics who are never going to keep their word, and heroin addicts who are never going to keep their word. The other thing is, these people should have never be involved at any point in time. Never. See, we pay taxes so that people like Jeff Ritter can do their jobs. People like Lolatai can do his job. Why are we paying them if they're not going to do their job? Now, these people have key evidence that I was trying to get actual help to get the actual fucking harassment and actual fucking stalking to stop. I went to Jeff Ritter for a reason. I went to the police for a reason. Because there was a major fucking issue. And all of these people saying, oh, Sean, I'll help, I'll help, I'll help, I'll help. But they never do because I'm not screaming. I'm hoping that if I treat these people the way that I want to be treated, that they'll actually keep their word, but they don't. And when I call them out on it, they get all sorts of pissed. Well, fuck you. You should have kept your fucking word. That ain't fucking rocket science. Between having an alcoholic like Shannon Alvarado or a professional therapist like Jeff Ritter is the one that was getting fucking paid to do it. Between going to Miss Peach's house to get help or going to the police are the ones who are paid to fucking do that job. And Peaches obviously wasn't going to. She kept on saying she would and saying she would. But no matter what, there's always an excuse why she couldn't. Then there's all these people that, when they're in a fucked up situation that isn't my fault, they want my help. People like Lexi Woods. Is it my fault that she went back to the dude who beats her 4 different times? No. Is it my fault that she didn't keep her word because she kept getting back with the dude who was beating her? No. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of having all my shit stolen. I'm sick of people treating me like shit because they didn't fucking keep their word. I'm tired of people forcing me to repeat myself and then pretending like I never told them. Rayanna needed somebody to take her fucking aggression out on yesterday. She told me that she was going to listen to what I had to say. Finally! But I start speaking. She starts doing the same thing as everybody else, telling me how to think and how to feel. Ways that she obviously doesn't think and feel when shit like that similar happens to her. She said she doesn't care what anybody thinks. She doesn't care about other people's opinions. Well, she obviously does. She gets extremely pissed off if your opinion isn't that she's perfect. Now, my opinion is that she hit those girls because she's a fucking alcoholic. God, it's fucking hot here. It's difficult for me because I literally needed these people's help in order to get the police to do the jobs that they're paid to do. In order to get Jeff Ritter to do the job that he was paid to do. People keep telling me to get a job. No. I'm not capable of working after all the shit that I've been through. And you know, the longer that it goes along, the more people treat me like shit. The more people that I've known long term that just don't give a shit because I haven't been able to defend myself against any of these accusations or allegations. I mean, for an entire year before Natalie died, I was trying to get a fucking court date. Getting ripped off by Ken and Leah. Having my resources wasted by people like who? Like Peaches. Yeah, Sean, I'll help you. Bring some weed. Okay, I brought the weed. Sean, we're out of cigarettes. Okay, I got cigarettes. Sean, we don't have any food. All right, I'll get food. And I get to their house and I realize they do have food. Now, my dad, he treated me like shit for 22 years because I didn't get disability. You need to have help getting that. You have to have somebody go in with you. If you are a male, especially, you need someone to go in with you. I am so overwhelmed with all the goddamn bullshit that I went through trying to please that fucking man. He is unpleasable. And then there's the people who, well, you do as they want or you're a bad person. You take their shitty meme that is based on their opinion of not finding out what the fuck is going on, and their shitty meme is supposed to be advice. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. That's not advice. It's not. It's a pretty meme. You guys want to generalize fix everything. Like, oh, well, you know, if you just get a job. People been throwing that at me. They always do that. When you're homeless, even when you have a job, people tell you to get a job. You're earning enough to pay for a bathroom. Literally. If you need to use the bathroom, you have to buy something. You're earning enough at your job that you can go pay to buy something that you don't fucking need, hopefully, so you can use the goddamn bathroom. And then I get it thrown in my face. Well, I gave you money. Yeah. And I will continue to need other people to pay me for the rest of my life. I am going to have to depend on strangers for the rest of my life. I'm going to have to depend on financial contributions from other people for the rest of my life because people wouldn't come forward with the truth. Miss Peaches could have made an actual effort. Instead, she kept on making suggestions. You should do this and you should do that. No, Peaches, you need to shut the fuck up and listen. Meanwhile, it's do as she says or I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person because I didn't go with the money that I didn't have to go to live with Peace, who can't take care of me. He can barely take care of himself. But because I didn't do that, I'm a shitty person who wasn't trying. Fuck you, Peaches. You're a cunt. Your opinions have gotten me injured more than anybody else's opinion ever. You are the person above all else. You are the one person whose testimony could fucking set me free. But the longer this goes along, where I'm not allowed to defend myself against the accusations and allegations, the more people are like, I keep hearing all this stuff about you, Sean. I keep hearing all this. I can't talk to you anymore. I can't be your friend. Because I live in a town where people don't like you because you were never allowed to defend yourself. And although I could have done something, I could have spoken out, I'm too cowardly and I'm going to hide behind Jesus. Fuck you, Aunt B. Fuck you, Tabby. Fuck you, Graham. After I jumped through all of your goddamn hoops for the help that you promised me, if I jumped through your goddamn hoops and I wasted my resources jumping through your hoops because I need your help. No matter how much evidence I collect, without somebody who's not considered mentally ill, they're not going to take my statement. They can't. They're not fucking loud. Meanwhile, Peaches wants to make excuses. Excuse after excuse after excuse. I will, Sean. I will, Sean. I will, Sean. When? When? Then there's people like Katie Cahill. I was so patient with that stupid bitch. And I have all that saved. It's a year of me being nice to her. Her promising help that she never provided. Her making empty promises and wasting my time. It was just entertainment to her. Meanwhile, I have to deal with drama hounds. People who are entertained by Natalie's death. People like Kara Johnson, Cara Miles, or Cara Mia. Her real name is Cara Rogers, by the way. People like Layla Johnson. And then I got to deal with people like Dan Faber who feel like he is entitled to treat me like shit because he sent me money. No, Dan, you are not entitled to shit. I don't owe it to you to let you be abusive to me just because you sent me money. And if you're going to be abusive, I will be abusive back. If you're going to take somebody's side without finding out what the fuck is going on, especially the side of somebody who's made zero effort to find out what the fuck is going on, then you don't give a fuck about me and your money is useless. There's the people who are like, you just need to take care of you. Well, I am. And then there's the people who are like, you're selfish. I'm selfish for taking care of myself. I am selfish for wanting to see my loved ones. Okay, then I'm selfish. Rayanna, she complains every day about not getting to see her boys. She's allowed to be sad about that. I'm not allowed to be sad and I can't see any of my loved ones. She can go and see her loved ones. They don't want to deal with her because she's an alcoholic. And then there's Amy Kalina Kingery. Her ex, Nathan, he's a piece of shit. Rayanna told me recently that Roy, Nathan's dad, is a rapist. Now, Rayanna turned in her rapist, Doug Cowden. Doug Cowden had stolen about $6,000 from me all in all. $3,000 that he was supposed to spend on tools. $1,100 that was supposed to get me my first vehicle. That $1,100 didn't go to getting my first vehicle, though. It went to getting a pound of marijuana that went to Dennis Dickinson and Brenda Dickinson in Chapel, Nebraska. And that was only $900. The other $200 went to cocaine that went up Doug's nose, my brother Rabbit's nose, and my mother's nose. But I'm not allowed to say that. Nobody's in my corner. And when people say, oh, Sean, I'm in your corner, no, not if you are only willing to help me if I jump through your hoops and you consider jumping through your hoops help. No, I explained to you why that shit doesn't work. I explained to you that I've been through it again, but you just have it in your head because you're not here to see it and you're not actually helping, that I'm not doing anything. It's a pain in the ass. I should have been able to go to the police when my life was being threatened. I should have been able to go to the police when I was being assaulted. I should have been allowed to defend myself. I was assaulted repeatedly over Natalie's mother's opinion. Her mother's opinion in Virginia. There's a guy named Robbie. He's used to be friends with Natalie. He's got cancer, and he thinks that if Alicia sees him, realizes he's lost so much weight and that he is dying of cancer, that Alicia will clean up and stop doing the drugs. No, that's not going to work. Alicia cares about the drugs. And he keeps saying stuff like, well, it's not Alicia, it's the drugs talking. It's the drugs. It's the drugs. The same thing that I keep getting told about Rayanna. Well, it's the alcohol talking. It's the alcohol. It's the alcohol. Yes, but it's daily. And I'm the one who's punished for it. I'm the one who gets treated like shit. I'm the one who's not allowed to say anything. I'm the one who has to take the abuse because I'm stuck in a subservient situation. Because my money was stolen from me. Money that my dad treated me like shit because I didn't have it for 22 years. And when I finally got disability, when I finally got the disability money, well, then people saw me as a target and started stealing from me repeatedly. And I should have had a case manager to help me with those things. But because I'm intelligent, I should magically be able to know all the stuff that you guys got to learn growing up. Things that I didn't get to learn. Because a 15-year-old can do a bunch of magic shit with a smartphone and type 5,000 words per minute. I should magically be able to do that, right? Because I'm older? Meanwhile, I get to deal with so many sexist women who complain about how sexist men are. Well, you don't get to complain about how sexist men are when you're blaming all men for you dating the same asshole as your best friend who got rid of the dude because he's an asshole. Now you and your best friend are no longer on speaking terms because you want to date an asshole. And then, when he does the same thing to you that he did to your best friend, former best friend, you're going to take it out on all men except for him. And then there's situations like Lanny Ingline and Jerry Sparks, where they have told me so many stories about how terrible these men in their lives are. Well, when I went public with it, they got scared. So obviously they were telling me pity party stories because they wanted to get free labor out of me. Otherwise, to come forward about these people. Why do I mention that? Because that's how they manipulated me. By using their kids, using fear of men. The people who raped me, they were men. They were all males. Every one of them. Now, don't get me wrong, I have been molested by females. One woman, she stuck her hand down my pants. It was her first day being homeless, and she was scared of everybody. And she didn't want to sleep at my squat. She wanted to sleep close enough that if something happened, though, that I would be there. All right, so it's her first night homeless. I show her a place to sleep. It's about maybe 20 yards from where I'm passing out. And I wake up at about 3:30 in the morning. I got something in my pants. I'm fucking freaking out. I scared. I twisted to get fucking out of it. It turns out that it wasn't a raccoon like I thought it was. It was her wrist in my pants. It was her hand in my pants. And my belt got caught and it broke her wrist. Lana, when I was there and I was crying about Natalie, she grabbed my hand and put it on her boob. And then Mike Dietrich, that's Amanda Engelein's ex-husband. Mike Dietrich wanted to hook me up with his cousin. Well, I went and met his cousin, and his cousin was crying about her dead brother, and then she grabbed my penis. That fucking creeps me out. Yeah, I'm not gonna have sex with a woman who's crying at me. Sorry. If I'm crying, it's not because I need sex, it's because I need somebody to listen. Because I need actual help. The help that I needed, Lana has, Amanda has, Jerry has. Brenda Dickinson has that help. My mom has that help. My little sister has that help. All of these people have that help. I don't have that help, and it doesn't register to them that they got what they got because of the help that they got. I don't know how many times Miss Jerry used abusive men as an excuse to have me move her out. At my expense, not hers. Now, don't get me wrong, she paid for the U-Hauls. Almost. Lana paid for one of the U-Hauls, and I paid for one of the U-Hauls. But I've moved Miss Jerry 7 times. I got a lot of shit to say. I've been through a lot of hell. The help that I need is help getting an honest fucking court date. All of the time and resources that I have had to spend have been spent on that because I need to be able to clear my name so that I am not chronically abused for the rest of my life. And if that's the way that it's going to be, if you are fine with watching me be abused for the rest of my life or turning a blind eye, you should have never told me you loved me to begin with, because it's a damn lie. The way that Rayanna treated me yesterday, it's fucked up. You know, there's a reason that I expose people on the internet. There's a reason that I speak out on the internet, because cops are fucking useless. Now, as far as Rayanna going to jail for child neglect, well, maybe she will, because she still hasn't taken the youngest of the 2 girls to go to the hospital over a urinary tract infection. Does she have a urinary tract infection? No, probably not. But I also think that Rayanna should be in jail for hitting those girls. But without those girls coming forward, and they're afraid to, it's not going to work out so good. Basically, I'm the bad guy for saying something, as always. If you don't want me to say something, don't tell me about your predators. Because I know full well what happens if you don't come forward about your predators. They get to do it to other people. Like James Payton. James Payton was abusive to Jackie. That was Jamie Curtis's best friend, Jackie McKenzie. I was the first person that Jackie McKenzie met that wasn't family when she moved to Chapel, Nebraska. Her and her mom, Tina. Life ain't fucking easy. But you know what? Family makes it worth it. But what family? Family like the Martindales? I don't have one of those. How about good friends? Well, I don't have any of those either. No matter how much money you throw at the situation, it's not being thrown in the right place. Miss Peaches, she didn't get paid like the Bollingers did. She didn't get paid money because Natalie died. But also, Miss Peaches is one of over 100 people who could have done something before Natalie died. Now, all these people want to treat me like shit because I speak out, because they didn't keep their word, because I wasted what precious resources I had. Less resources than they have, a lot less. And I'm getting pretty words and empty promises and excuses. Merry fucking Christmas, bitches. Now, as far as this sexism goes, men will fuck anything. Really. That's sexist as fuck. This coming from a woman who complains about how terrible men are all the time. Calls men misogynistic. Anytime a man types the word woman, then he's sexist and she makes a comment. Wait a second, says I. How is it okay for you and not okay for them? How is it okay for you to date the same guy 6 times, get beaten 6 times, and blame all men because men beat you? Men didn't beat you. That man in specific beat you. So don't play fucking stupid. And don't play victim. Men didn't victimize you.